Welcome on in, everybody. Tobin here with you. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm going to keep this one brief today just because it is late. I didn't do a Celtics Heat recap last night. I was out enjoying the birthday. So you'll excuse me for having a life. But I did watch the game back this morning for a great game. I mean, it was a great game, great back and forth. Complete hose job by the officials there at the end with that foul. Jimmy Butler on Derek White, and, you know, they're just like, sorry, Spo. Spo had every right to be upset. What are you going to do? You know that things are going to be on the take when you're in Sully and Murphville. They're not going to send them home upset, but, you know, a lot of good stuff from this game. It was a great performance from the Celtics starters, especially Derek White. He really took over in that fourth quarter, came out of the gate, 9 points to get them off to a great start. He had a monster block on Jimmy Butler and then hosed him into a phantom call to completely swing the game into a two-possession game down the stretch. So you got to give it up for Derek White. He was by far their best player today. They got great performances really from all their starters, though. Tatum was solid. Jaylen Brown looked like he was coming at this one with something personal. Definitely felt like their intensity in this was ratcheted at a different level than Miami's at certain points. Which you're going to understand. You know, Spo said this going into the road trip. They probably have this one circled, as do the Bucks coming on up. But I think all in all, it was a great game back and forth. You got great performances from Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, both of them with really nice games. I think you look at this one and it's pretty easy where the production was lacking for Miami for there to be this huge swing, and there was a quiet game from Jimmy Butler. You know, it was the classic Jimmy Butler meme of, like, you know, regular season mode. Did kind of get it going there late where he was getting to the free throw line, getting his classic, you know, 9 free throw trips, but, you know, did not have a pure shooting night. He's had a couple of clunky starts here, and you're expecting that's likely going to turn around because he's Jimmy Mother Bleeping Buckets. But on the other end of things, I think for Miami, one of the things that was encouraging was Kyle. You know, Kyle from the first game where he was not shooting the ball at all, today was very efficient, took some big-time shots, stepped up when he was wide open for some threes. And that's really what I want from Kyle, man. Like, this idea that he can't like, this guy's one of the all-time three-point shooters. Like, what is he, 13th all-time? And when those looks are there for him, I want him to take them every now and then. I don't feel like he has to go out there and play this complete reduced role where it's just like, I got to get everybody set up. Like, in a ways, you want Kyle Lowry to act like the credentials that he has. And I think at certain points he was just deferring too much. I'm not saying that I want him to go out there and shoot, you know, 15 times or anything like that, but yeah, this is pretty much what, from him, you know, a really, really good game all the way around. And there's a lot of guys you can look to. I thought that the young guys today really impressed, especially Drew Smith, man. Drew Smith was playing some really good defense, had 3 steals today, was setting guys up. And I just thought, like, you know, I know a lot of people probably look at his plus minus and think that's reflective of him. I did not. I thought that he played really, really well today. And I do think that, man, the Heat fans have been busting on. Like, if Erik Spoelstra thinks the guy is going to be pretty decent, perhaps we should just kind of see it play out. Give the kid a month, see what he's going to do. And I thought that today he didn't look overwhelmed. He looked like he could make the right play. You know, like, everybody gets crazy. Oh, is the shot the prettiest? Is it you know, the guy is, if he has been in the organization and around the organization for this long and he continues to get better and he continues to press the head coach, I think you should probably roll with what the head coach is going to think there for a minute. So I thought Drew played really well today. And then Jaime Jaquez, there was, you know, only 14 minutes today and didn't put up any points, but I thought that pretty bold that the Heat were throwing him on Jason Tatum. I mean, they were throwing him right into the Shark Tank. They were trying to do a little baptism by fire. And it was a tough start. It was a tough start for Jaime in the first couple possessions against Tatum, but I thought that he really rallied in his second stint to play against Boston Star. So some really, really great stuff from there. It was interesting seeing the Kristaps Porzingis dynamic that this team brings to the table. I think that it's interesting, like, Boston is going with this loaded lineup. I don't know who you're really scared of coming off that bench. But, we did get a look at the firepower for sure. Porzingis today. The one thing that's going to be the take back for him, and I think we saw a little bit of this today that I'm going to be interested if this does come down to a playoff series, is, dude, it just looks like Bam is moving free and easy in this series. It really, really does. He looks like he can get to any spot that he wants to. Like, he finished today 10 of 23 with 27 points. And I would venture to say he probably would want 4 or 5 of them back. Like, this very easily could have been a much, an even more impressive game from Bam, but he did not look like he had any resistance. Do love the fact that he's getting to the free throw line in these first couple of games at a monster rate. Two games in a row where he's gotten there 9 times. So that's really, really impressive. Tyler had the 3-point shot going today, or yesterday, excuse me. And he finished with 28 today. They got the Wolves. I will get something more immediate on after that. So Tyler was really, really impressive as well. With he had a big 3 late with which is Tyler Hero's MO. It looked like, I thought in this fourth quarter there was a spot where Jimmy missed a jumper, then Derek White hit a 3. Put him up 109, 108. I was like, that's going to be a tough one to come back from. And it ultimately ended up being tough to come back from. But then Bam got a block on Jaylen Brown. But as Jimmy Butler was going down, looked like he had an easy dunk. Derek White chased him down and got the block. Derek White was amazing today. He was a problem. He was a problem all the way around. Really, really great. But Tyler was able to bring the Heat back. He had a 3 ball, made it 112, 108. And then Kevin Love followed that up with his own 3 ball. So the Heat got to within a possession. And then you had this bull bleep hocus pocus phantom call that was put on by the Beantown refs. But, look, man, that was you're on the road, second game. The Heat certainly did not look overwhelmed in this game, and especially a game where, you did not have the best version of Jimmy Butler tonight. Just some looks that I'm sure he'd want back, and some easy ones, and credit some great plays by Derek White there as well. But I definitely felt like for Boston, you probably got you got a great game from all of their starters today. And for the Heat, that definitely wasn't the case. You didn't get an A game from your best player. And this one came down to the absolute wire with a lot of, no Caleb Martin tonight. He was out with knee tendonitis. Jaquez is just starting to grow. So, look, man, I said this after all the moves and settled. Boston in a playoff series with the way they're set, I'm not scared of that team. I'm not scared of the Heat taking on that team. Milwaukee, we're going to see. Milwaukee, looks, absolutely, it looked actually dangerous with Giannis and Dame in that first game, obviously, and it was painful to watch for the Heat fan. But that's the team I'm more intrigued by because their issue of blowing leads and yakking leads late, that feels like it's going to be very much solved by what they got. But the Celtics, they traded a lot of their heart, grit, and defense for offense. And you're going to get a bigger role from Derek White, and he was awesome today, that's for sure. But, it's like it always is going to be with this team. It's going to be super competitive. We cannot act like the Celtics are in some other stratosphere from the Miami Heat. They are not.